Prophecy Chronicles with God's servant Yamkala Joseph. In this broadcast you will receive updates on prophecies which the Lord has spoken through his enabled servant.
Now the Lord is saying to me now that there is a political revolution that is coming to the nation of Senegal that cannot be stopped. I saw as if like it is a sea, as if like the waters of the sea, the waves were beginning to enter into what I would call like something like a tsunami as they were moving towards a certain city in Senegal. This is what I saw. Now the Lord showed me and he said this is a revolution that is about to take over the nation, and it cannot be stopped because what God wants to do in that nation cannot be stopped by no man. Now this is what the Lord said to me about the nation of Senegal, that we have to pray for that nation so that what God wants to do may begin to work out. Now the Lord said there will be a rising revolution in the nation of Senegal, that the dissatisfaction of young people has reached the highest level. They will now take it upon themselves to revolt and to make the nations ungovernable until their demand is met. They will continue to revolt against the nation and make it ungovernable until their demands are met. The current regime has neglected the importance of taking the youth along, and they have paid no attention to them. Let them carry the youth along in building up the nation of Senegal. It is not a time to debate religion, but it is a time to speak unity and love and peace. Now this is what the Lord say. It is not a time to debate religion in Senegal. It is a time to debate unity, love and peace. So build the nation alongside with the youth. Now to the government of Senegal, it is only you taking the youth along with yourself that will make the nation to be stable. But without doing so, the young people, they are dissatisfied to a level that will begin to cause chaos in that nation. So the nation of Senegal, begin to prepare yourself for a revolution that is coming, because God wants to revive the economy of that nation, and he has raised the young people to come out with the right ideas. Now the government has to pay attention to the young people, because they are the ones who are supposed to take over from the current government.
Early signs from Senegal's presidential vote on Sunday put opposition leader Bassirou Diomaye Faye ahead, drawing his supporters to Dakar's streets to celebrate. His main rival from the ruling coalition said a runoff will be needed to determine the winner. Millions took part in a peaceful day of voting to elect Senegal's fifth president. It followed 3 years of unprecedented political turbulence that sparked violent anti-government protests and buoyed support for the opposition. Many people are already celebrating.
I say it's great because it's democracy that's winning. Everyone thought it would never happen. Today, if these results are indeed confirmed, it's Senegal that absolutely wins.
At least 5 of the nearly 20 candidates in the race have congratulated Faye as results are slowly trickling in. But former Prime Minister Amadou Ba, the ruling coalition's candidate, said that celebrations were premature. Voters decided on who will replace the outgoing President Macky Sall, who is stepping down after a second term marred by unrest in one of West Africa's more stable democracies. The incumbent was not on the ballot for the first time in Senegal's history.
Now the Lord is saying to me that unless the nation of Senegal accepts the fact that these young people are being risen by God, then a revolution will be unstoppable. The chaos will be unstoppable.
We're going to turn now to Senegal, though, where opposition leader Bassirou Diomaye Faye has been named Senegal's next president after the country's ruling coalition conceded defeat in a nationwide election. The 44-year-old is set to become Senegal's youngest ever president, and he'd been in prison less than 2 weeks before the vote, which followed months of political turmoil in one of Africa's most stable democracies. In his victory speech, Faye promised to deliver a fresh chapter for Senegal.
The people of Senegal have chosen to break with the past, to make real the immense hopes raised by our vision of society. I hope that this vision of society will bring about their aspirations. I pledge to govern with humility and transparency, and to fight corruption at all levels. I pledge to devote myself fully to rebuilding our institutions and strengthening the foundations of our way of life together.
Servant Yamkela Joseph has been released by God in the year of 2020 to publicly prophesy and speak to the nations of the world. Since then we have seen many prophetic fulfillment and events foretold before they happen in a very accurate and powerful way. If this generation is to believe, they should know that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
A night of justice at the courts of heaven, with God's enabled servant Yamkela Joseph. The 21st of October 2023, Mount Zion, Bula Conference Center, Germiston, Johannesburg. Let your case be judged by heaven. Don't miss it for anything. Register right now. Your ministry to the prophet. Donate now, using these details.